What is up? It's your girl Pearl. Welcome to Let's Get Lit with your girl Pearl. The episode today, I had someone ask me about my content creation process. And I'm really excited to share this. And I'm not a perfect content creator, but I do have some thoughts and ideas and things that supported me in the journey. So if you are someone who wants to create more content, if you know that's your next level, if you know you are here to share your voice, if you know you have something important on your heart that you want to share, then this episode is for you. I'm so excited to dive into this. So, when it comes to getting into routine with content flow and creation, I think there's a couple really big pieces that I want to address and talk about. The first one is actually how to tap into your own creative flow and tap into your own creative power. The second one is like the practical aspect of content and things like that. And the third one is getting over some of the mental blocks, right? And so the first one is tapping into your own creative power. I truly believe so many of us, every single human being has so much creative power, creative genius, so much gifts and things that we can share that can help other people, right? You wouldn't be listening to this if you didn't believe that you also had the same and you also had something that like, yeah, something on my heart or my soul is calling me to share this, right? Now, when it comes to this, I really think that we all have access to tapping into infinite intelligence, okay? We all have some sort of connection, whether you might say, oh, I'm intuitive, or I get downloads, or this and that. I love all these ideas. And now, if you're someone that doesn't get a lot of ideas, then some tips I'm going to share will help you tap into your own creative power and get more ideas. All right, so the first thing, if you're someone that actually doesn't think you get a lot of ideas, or maybe you feel like you're maybe creative blocked or something, I will let you know that I don't really believe in someone being creatively blocked. It's more so, are you connecting to your own essence enough? Are you connecting to your own body? Are you connected, right? A lot of disconnect can cause the idea that, oh, I'm blocked, I have no ideas, or I don't know what to say, or ooh. But also, what I'm going to talk about in the third part of this is going to maybe create that narrative as well, right? So when we're thinking of, okay, as a creative being, I'm a creator. As a being that's attached and connected to the infinite source, whatever you believe, okay, this is what I believe, and I get downloads left, right, and center all day long. And it's super, super powerful for me because I also dedicate my mornings to myself, right? So, one thing I'm going to share is you cannot consume content before you create. I'm not perfect at this, but more often than not, I'm off my phone and I am sitting with myself and I'm thinking, I'm journaling, I'm meditating, I'm opening myself up to receive downloads without putting any other shit in my brain, right? I'm sitting with myself and honoring the knowledge I already have, right? We already have so much knowledge, so much lived wisdom within ourselves. So it's how can you create space in your day to tap into your innate creativity? One thing that everyone needs to do, and I will say this, I will die on this hill, is consume less. We need to consume less. This is me included. And I've been really working on my screen time. Like, I have two apps that block apps most of the day because I'm really, really being mindful as I step into more of creating my podcast and posting more content and doing more of the things that I'm here to do. I know that putting my energy and time towards consuming and scrolling is not serve me. It does not serve the higher purpose that I'm here to do. So how can you set yourself up for success? Maybe get an app that blocks you from scrolling, or maybe say this hour is where I'm going to only focus on me and connect with that. Okay. So that's one thing. And also our body, like our physical beings, our body, how can we create more creativity? How can we create more energy within our body? And this comes down to your state. I'm really big into state optimization. If you don't know, state optimization is everything for me. And that's actually how I'm able to do, I would say 95% of things I'm able to do is because of my state, is I vibrate high. I eat healthy. I eat foods that make me feel good, right? My gut health is healed and I'm thriving and I produce really high energy and good endorphins. And so this matters because the chemicals that get released in your body can enhance how your brain works or take away from it, right? And so when you're moving throughout your days, are your habits supporting you to be a more creative, lit up, connected, in tune being, right? And that's not for me to answer, that's for you to answer. So every day I ask myself, is this serving me? Is eating this serving me? Is this doing like, and I'm always checking in. Because the more connected you are, the more high vibrational you are, the more you're going to connect to your intuition, let's say, your ideas, your downloads. And not just that, the more you're going to also trust and take action on them. That's a whole other piece. So, are you creating space and time to connect with yourself? For me, that's in the morning. I block off no screens, nothing. I sit with myself. I get downloads all day long and I take notes, whether it's in my journal or in my phone when I have it. I just take notes. I remember all these things. But it's not just about taking notes, it's about taking action, which we'll talk about in the third part of this. All right. And then how are you vibrating? Like, are you connecting to your body and how are you allowing your body to be more of a vessel for you to connect to the energy, to the ideas, to having your brain be more open to these connections through exercise, right? When we exercise, we release something called brain-derived neural factor, BDNF. Yeah, brain-derived neural factor. And so, how can we create more of that in our body through dance, through movement, through music, through getting outside, through nature, through there's so many ways to do it, right? BDNF specifically is released through exercise. But there's lots of other things that get released in our body when we're doing things that keep us grounded, right? When we are in a dysregulated state, our frontal cortex is off. Our brain is not operating at the way it needs to be. So if you are dysregulated, if you are someone that feels anxious a lot, feels stressed a lot, or has all these emotions that put you in a state of dysregulation, that's actually going to affect your creativity as well, right? So you want to make sure you're doing the daily habits. They're going to keep your body and your mind in a state of regulation, in a state of connectedness, in a state of I'm feeling good and I'm connected and I get these ideas and I'm clear-minded. I have clarity, right? And this is a whole nother can of worms, but those are the things I would share there first and foremost, right? So making sure you're taking that time to create these habits, to create the space in your life to get these creative downloads. All right. That's a big part of my creative process is making sure my state and my body is in a place where I'm creating this. All right. So the second piece then is the actual practical piece of creating content. Well, where do you want to post content? What ways do you like to express? How do you like to post? How frequently do you like to post? All these things, right? One thing I'm going to say is literally fuck the rules. Like actually, there are no rules. You make your own rules. You have to post at this time. The algorithm doesn't like this. You gotta do this. Hashtags. You gotta make sure you use the hook. Blah, 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 blah. Fuck the rules. There's so many things that can make it so overwhelming. And if you're starting to post content, if you're not yet in a routine and in a flow of posting content, you just have to get in the routine of it. You have to reduce all the barriers that make creating content and posting content hard for you. So for me, I've had my own ebbs and flows with this, and I'm still not perfect. I'm still working on creating and posting more content. But when you think of, oh, I have to have this type of hook, or oh, my caption, oh, my hashtags, and oh, is this aesthetic enough? And oh, this person said this was the right way to do it. I can only post at 8 a.m. And like all these things start to have a brain connection. Like, no. So I started personally to say, fuck the rules. I'm gonna post when I want. I'm gonna say what I want. I'm gonna post what feels alive for me. I'm gonna share my heart. I'm gonna share my soul whenever I feel like it. And that gets to work for you because you decide it gets to work for you. You know what I mean? There's so many creators, and I want you to, if you do follow, if you do consume content, I want you to make sure it's content that's supporting the narrative you want to build. I follow creators that don't follow the rules, and they have massive followings. I'm like, cool, that's what I want. So the first thing is you gotta get clear on what you want. What do you want as a creator? How do you want to post? I love yapping. I love talking. So for me, I have a podcast. I love going live. I love putting riffs in my Telegram channel. Side note, if you're not in it, get your booty in it. Link is below. But it's like, what form of creation? How do you want to share your knowledge? For me, it's using my voice. Okay, so what's that look like? Okay, well, I know long form content is important. I want my content to live longer, so I'm doing YouTube and podcast. Cool. And then I want to have more voice things on Instagram. So I'm going to go live. I'm going to post clips. I'm going to speak face to camera. I'm going to do XYZ. But that's unique to me, right? And that's something I've been evolving over the years of being a content creator. So then the question is, what's going to be what you want to do? What's going to work for you? And it's going to take trial and error. So you really have to have an experimental trial and error mindset when it comes to honestly, not just content creation, life, right? And then you get to be like, okay, I just did this. How'd that feel? What's the feedback? What's the data? But it's not about looking at how many likes did I get or, oh, did anyone engage? Like that matters, but not as much as we think it does. It's more about, is this sustainable for me? Did I feel good posting that? Was that authentic to me? Was I able to let my voice shine through? Is that a piece of content that I totally 100% I'm so proud and like hyped about, even if it got zero likes or engagement? Because it's more important that your energy is aligned with the content you're putting out there. Alignment over the algorithm. And I saw this in the post and I was like, heck yes, alignment over the algorithm. And we're here for the long run, right? We are here for the long run. I just got full body chills because, anyway, deja vu. We're here for the long run. So I'm not posting content just to post for 1 month and then be like, oh, bye. No, I'm building a brand that I want to have for years and years and years and years. So in that case, I need to make sure, hey, I'm going to be able to post this. This is what I want to post. This is how I want to post. This is a time that works for me given my unique schedule. This is when I'm most creative, right? And you need to figure all these things out for yourself. So once you do that, okay, love that. I'm gonna do podcasts. I'm gonna record once a week. Then you put it in your schedule and you make that a non-negotiable. And you make sure you make it happen. Don't get in your own way. We'll talk about that in the third part. But how can you create a schedule that works for you and be flexible, right? You need to be flexible because life ebbs and flows, shit happens. But how can you, again, fuck the rules and be like, you know what? I said I want to post 3 times a week. What's gonna be the easiest way for me to do that? Is that batching content? Is that in the moment? Is that doing longer form, shorter form? Is it typing something out? Is it me just walking, going on a walk and doing face the camera content with my phone and being okay with that and not being perfectionist, not thinking that's not good enough? Right? So many things to talk about here, but that's kind of the way that I look at it, right? So, how can I make this happen for me? I have it in my calendar. Do I stick to it all the time? No, but of course, I'm still in my process. But for me, I'm like, I actually really want to take this seriously. So, I'm going to record a podcast once a week and I'm going to be efficient. How can I make this easier? How can I be more efficient with the process, right? So for me, I'm going to use this clip of the podcast. I'm going to break it up into different clips and post that on social media. Then I'm going to do some off the cuff random clips because that's how I like to speak. And I want to keep my brand really authentic. And this comes down to what's your brand want to look like? How do you want to post content? Do you want it to be super aesthetic and really fine tuned? And is every post going to be intentional and strategic? Or are you going to be like, you know what? I really want to just post like this and see what happens and see what works and be experimental and you get to evolve with it, right? You get to evolve. I'm 100% sure I'm not going to be posting the way I post right now in a year, right? But it gets to evolve. You just got to start somewhere, okay? Hopefully that one helped. And the third piece is the mindset piece, is getting over the fear of being seen, is working through any inner blocks that come up when it comes to creating content. It can be such a vulnerable thing. I have been through so much through creating content, and it's also the most beautiful way for you to heal and integrate parts of you that maybe you have not given enough attention to. Honestly, if you are intentional with it, content creation can be the most amazing healing journey. Entrepreneurship is the most amazing healing journey, but especially content creation when it comes to being seen, when it comes to letting yourself be your full self and be accepted and loved for being your full self. Like there's so much that goes into it, but I really want you to start to think of, okay, what mindsets are blocking me from creating content? What are the excuses that come up and how can we reframe them? I'm all about reframing and rewiring when it comes to doing the mindset work. I'm going to be talking about this in my workshop that I'm doing on the 29th of November. So if you want to join, let me know. Link will be below as well. Sign up for that. But how can we reframe all the thoughts that say, oh, I'm not good enough. That was not great enough. Oh, that sucked. Ooh, you aren't good. Look at them. They did that and they got that many likes. Your voice is not important. You don't have anything to share. Who are you to be saying this? All these fucking voices. We need to work on integrating those voices and knowing that a lot of these voices don't get to dictate how we take action. You do not get to listen to the voices that don't support you, whether that's an internal voice or external voice, right? It's like, how can you hear the voice, be like, oh, I hear you, I see you, I'll deal with you later or now, depending on what you're doing. And then you get to see, no, I choose to be someone that believes in myself. I choose to be someone that I might feel scared to be seen. I'm gonna work through that because I have an important message and I'm here to change the world. And how can you speak like the version of you know you're meant to be, right? That mindset work. I've gotten massive hate. I've gotten so much shit happen with me with content, but I still continue to show up because that made me stronger. And I'm here. I know I'm here. I know what I'm here to say is important. And how can you really create that sense of knowingness, that sense of self-trust and self-love and connecting to, again, your higher self? This is why my mornings are so sacred. This is where I do the mindset work because shit still comes up for me all the time. But it's the every morning I'm like, you know what? I'm here for more. And I visualize and I sit with myself and I meditate and I connect to my higher self. I'm like, no, I'm here to make a big difference. And that requires for me to share my voice online, right? And how can we start to work with these narratives and these old stories and these old programs and these imprints on our nervous system? How can we do that nervous system work to help us feel safe in showing up? That help us feel good in just speaking our mind and posting a piece of imperfect content, but the message behind it is so pure, right? That's the work we get to do. And that's the important stuff that no one really talks about when it comes to creating content, but that's what we need to talk about because if you don't do that work, you're gonna make the plan, you're going to say, okay, I'm gonna post every week, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Then you go to post and you're like, and you freeze and you procrastinate and you don't post and you say, oh, it's not good enough, I'm not going to post it. Or you have five retakes or whatever the way of self-sabotage that comes up within you is going to show up. Then you'll end up going a month, a week, 2 months of not posting and saying, oh man, I really wanted to post. And I knew I was so supposed to post, but like I just can't get myself to do it. It's because of that inner work. It's the things that are stopping you. It's the fears. It's the limiting beliefs, the old stories. And that's what we need to work on, right? When I mentioned reducing any friction to doing the thing, taking the action, how can you make it easier? One of the best ways to make it easier is through making your mindset a safe place, is through making the way you speak to yourself be in alignment with who you want to be. Because life gets to be really easy or easier when you learn how you can speak to yourself in a better way, when you learn how to rewire your subconscious, when you learn how to work on the inner wounds and the triggers and all the things that come up when you're going to do the thing as you step into your next level. You're going to have to overcome and expand and grow. And it's beautiful. And you need to have the tools. And when you have the tools, just all becomes easier. So those are the three things I focus on if you're trying to get into routine with creating content. Now, that was just a riff, very divine riff, and I hope that was valuable. If you're watching this, and you have any more questions, feel free to DM me, and I'm happy to expand more on another episode or even in another form. But just to recap, if you're looking to be more routine and create more consistency around creating content, you first gotta get clarity on your creative process, on making sure your state is optimized, and on trusting that all the ideas that come to you are meant to be taken action on, right? So having that process, having your morning sacred, whatever it is, not scrolling, like how can you make sure you're getting your own divine ideas and you're trusting your body and its wisdom that's coming up? Secondly, is you're going to need to make sure you have a plan, like a practical plan. How many times you're going to post, what platforms, what works for you, experiment, right? Test, see what happens, see what works, see what doesn't, evolve, grow, let go of the perfectionism, fuck the rules. Like you get to create your own way of expressing and showing up that works for you. And thirdly is the mindset work. How can you get over and work through healing and integrating all these things that are going to get in the way as you start to post more content, right? How are you going to support yourself and get the tools and the mindset shifts and the integration work and the nervous system work that's going to help you show up in a strong way without feeling dysregulated, right? Or when you do feel dysregulated, you have the tools to support you through that. Okay, so if you're watching this, I'm so excited for you to start to create content more. And if you do, if any of these tips helped, let me know. Let me know what resonated with you. Let me know anything. I love hearing from you guys. So please DM me saying that you messaged me or that you listened to this and that I like really like this and this hit or whatever. I love hearing from you. So if you made it this far, thank you for listening. And also, if you're tuned in, I'm doing a giveaway for this month for my podcast relaunch. So until the end of November, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm giving away three epic prizes. So all you have to do for the giveaway is either share this to your Instagram story and tag me or give me a review. All right, and you'll be entered for the giveaway. The tag is 1 point or one entry towards the giveaway. The review on podcasts or wherever you listen to, Spotify, Apple, give me a review. That'd be so appreciated. You get 5 points into the giveaway. So let me know if you liked it. Like, follow, subscribe wherever you are tuning into this, whether it's YouTube or Apple or Spotify. I'm so grateful to be back. And if you enjoyed this, always happy to hear your thoughts. Stay tuned for the next episode where we're going to talk about some more great stuff. I don't plan my episodes in advance, I just kind of do them in the moment. But know that every time I share, we're dropping gold and dropping nuggets. All right, I'm sending you all so much love. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in with your girl Pearl, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.